I'm now going to introduce Scott Hirose to my right. Scott began his work with a master's in divinity from Union Theological, but soon walked a few blocks down to us, thank goodness, to be in the Infancy program. He's worked as an infant toddler teacher, a play therapist in a number of agencies, and also working with children with special needs. He coordinated a therapeutic nursery for drug-exposed infants and toddlers, and has taught courses in adult development and also in family therapy at the Child and Family Outpatient Department at St. Luke's and Roosevelt Hospital, where he is a psychologist and assistant clinical director. Scott?
So, just to preface my brief comments, I think Virginia already said that I work as a child and adolescent in the child and adolescent mental health clinic just in the neighborhood, as a clinician, supervisor, and teacher. And my approach toward treatment of children tends to be psychodynamic and systemic. I just want to talk a little bit about some of the really significant research, and that's going to be how I frame my talk today, my brief talk. There's been some very significant research on infant development that's propelled the mental health field, I believe, forward. In Beatrice Beebe and Frank Lockman's 2005 book, Infant Research and Adult Treatment, Co-Constructing Interactions, the authors described their 9-year treatment of a young man with severe psychopathology based upon their infant research. In their treatment, they describe a paradigm shift. Instead of beginning from the assumption that self-development arises out of separation from another, and therefore individuation, they assert that the development of the self emerges from a relationship with another. For example, it is the primary other who names, models, and even mimes emotion. This helps the infant develop an internal representation of that very abstract experience of emotion. Most of us have seen a skilled mother who frowns when her infant is upset, and she'll say, "Oh, honey, you look so sad." This, it seems, a purely instinctual, much evolved intervention is the beginning steps of affect regulation for the infant. Some of us have seen videotapes of how an attuned mother-infant dyad looks like a carefully choreographed dance. Mother's voice goes up, and the corners of her mouth might even go up a little bit. And her eyes squint as she views her baby. The baby's corners of his mouth turn up, and his eyes squint as he views his mother. In the best case, a split screen indicates an exact one-to-one correspondence if we freeze the corresponding frames and compare them. This hyper-attunement, Beebe and Lackman hypothesize, helps the infant manage emotional arousal, helps the infant dampen arousal in the face of overstimulation, and also inhibit behavioral expressions, all the result of good enough interaction with the caregiver. Based on this research, a new method of therapy arose for persons with severe psychopathology. The clinician attempts to attune to what is happening with the patient, and consequently, the patient is able to manage affect, problem solve, and hypothetically strive toward self-development. So what am I saying about what infants will look like in 25 years? We face so many challenges in the next 25 years. We have debates about how babies will survive with multiple caregivers because both parents have to work. We have disagreements about how technology, for example, television, iPads, video games, etc., will impact infant development. And we have concerns about how exposure to violence, terrorism, and pollutants in our environment will affect our children's growth and lives. Infant research presently seems to tell mental health practitioners like me that there is no real substitute for a human relationship in the treatment of persons with severe psychopathology. In the next 25 years, we can expect that some of the answers to our most perplexing questions about our own development and why we should work to surmount the challenges of our changing environment may be found in infant research. An infant will lead the way, and our research will uncover solutions to our doubts and anxieties about our future.